The school cleaner pushed the door open and froze. Mr. Dike sat on the floor, head buried in his arms, silent tears soaking his shirt. Next to him lay a stack of marked papers, each page smudged where a tear had fallen. Monday morning sun slid through dusty windows of Jide Town Secondary School. Mr. Dike, 36, walked in with a canvas bag, a half-open tie, and the kind of smile a person wears when they still believe today can be better. He whispered to himself, fresh start. The hallway smelled of chalk and old paint. In the staff room he greeted anyone who would look up. Morning, Mrs. Okafor. She nodded without words, busy typing scores into a cramped spreadsheet. At the printer, Mr. Dike ran off 30 copies of the term's first reading list. While the pages slid out, two younger teachers chatted behind him. Head 3B made him cry last term, one said. Serious? A grown man. The other laughed. Wait and see. They'll crush him again. Mr. Dike pretended not to hear. He folded the list and slipped them into a worn folder. Class 3B sat in uneven rows. Desks were scratched with names and phone numbers. When he entered, a low hum of side talk filled the room. Good morning, he said, voice steady. No reply. He tried again, louder. Good morning, class. A few students muttered back. One boy at the back mimicked his tone, turning it into a joke. Laughter rippled. He wrote a topic on the board, simple narrative essay. We'll learn how to build a story from real life, he explained. Each of you has a story worth telling. A hand shot up, Chika, known for sarcasm. Sir, do we get marks if the story makes the teacher cry? More laughter. Mr. Dike forced a smile. Marks come from clear writing, not tears. Inside, he felt the first sting. Halfway through the lesson, a crumpled paper ball hit the board, missing his head by inches. He spun. Faces were blank masks. Who threw that? Silence. He steadied his breathing. If no one owns up, we all stay in during break. Groans rose. Yet nobody confessed. The bell rang. Feet scraped. They filed out, pushing past him as if he were a piece of furniture. During break, the vice principal called him in. Her tone was clipped. Parents of 3B say your subject is falling behind. Keep them on target. No excuses. He nodded, swallowing words he wanted to say. They need discipline first. The vice principal was already looking at the next file. Back in the staff room, his lunch sat untouched. He graded last term's essays instead. Each red circle felt heavier than the last. He added gentle comments, good idea, work on structure. Outside, other teachers laughed over a joke. Their voices carried through the thin walls. For a second he felt like a boy standing outside a party he was not invited to. The final period arrived. Class 3B again. He entered with new resolve. Today we do group work, he announced, hoping activity would keep them busy. He divided them into circles of 5. At first it worked. Then someone played loud music on a hidden phone. Beats bounced off the walls. Phone on my desk, now, he ordered. Nobody moved. He walked toward the sound. It stopped. Another corner started a new beat. His head pounded. Enough. His voice cracked. Laughter grew louder. After school he stayed back to clean the mess, scrap paper on the floor, and broken chalk sticks. He locked the classroom, but then his phone buzzed. A text from his wife, don't be late. Kids' homework still waiting. He typed back, few more minutes. He did not add why. He opened his canvas bag to pack. At the bottom lay a note he had not seen before. It was torn from an exercise book. Sir, why do you try so hard? No one cares. The handwriting was neat. For some reason, that hurt most. He folded the note carefully, placed it back, and sat down. Tears came before he felt them. Quiet, like a small leak. He did not hear the cleaner at first. The door creaked. "Sir, are you okay?" He wiped his face, stood quickly, forced a laugh that sounded wrong. "Dust got in my eyes." The cleaner nodded, though her eyes showed she knew the truth. She bent to pick up the trash he had missed. Together they walked in silence until the room looked normal again. The moment passed, but a mark remained. Outside, dusk painted the sky orange. Mr. Dike walked to the gate, papers under one arm, hope under the other. Both felt light until a gust of wind scattered the top pages. He chased them across the yard. Students watched, some amused, some bored. None bent to help. By the time he gathered the last sheet, the security man had locked one half of the gate. "Long day, sir," the guard said. Mr. Dike managed a nod and stepped into the street, wondering how many more long days he could survive. Tuesday began with heavy clouds. Mr. Dike reached the gate early, hoping quiet halls would steady him. As he signed the attendance sheet, the guard leaned closer. "Sir, they say you almost quit yesterday." Mr. Dike forced a light laugh. "People say many things." The guard shrugged. "Hope you stay. Good teachers are few." Those words warmed him for a moment. In the staff room, a notice board held new sheets. He scanned the list. His name now had extra duties: weekly debate club, supervisor. No one had asked him. He sighed. Debate club met on Fridays, the one evening he picked his son from football practice. He would need a new plan. Mrs. Okafor slid into the seat beside him. "Morning," she said, tone softer than usual. "Saw your class yesterday. Tough crowd." He nodded. "I'll manage." She lowered her voice. "Watch your back. Parents' WhatsApp group is burning. They want proof their kids are learning." "How do you know?" "My sister is in that group. Her boy is in 3B. He swallowed." "Thanks for the warning." First period, class 2A. They were comma. He thought simple past tense. Hands rose, questions came. For 40 minutes he felt like the teacher he once dreamed of. Between periods he walked the corridor. 2 senior students stood near the lockers, scrolling a phone. As he passed, one whispered, "That's him." He kept walking but heard the next line. "He cried like a baby yesterday." It climbed his neck. He turned, wanting to correct them, but what would he say? Instead he entered the nearest restroom, splashed water on his face, and stared at the mirror. "You're stronger than gossip," he told the reflection. The reflection looked unsure. Second period, free. He planned lessons, but noise outside drew him. A group of teachers huddled around a laptop. On the screen was a video, shaky phone footage of him gathering papers in the yard the evening before, chasing them while students giggled. A young teacher laughed. Going viral in the school group chats. Mr. Dike's stomach tightened. He stepped back before anyone noticed him and returned to his desk, hands trembling. He opened his notebook but the lines blurred. Lunch bell rang. He could not eat. Instead he went to the library. Between tall shelves he found calm. He selected a thin novel, sat at a corner table, and read 2 pages before voices drifted in. Why don't they replace him? Maybe no one else wants the class. He closed the book. It hurt more that these voices belonged to students from another class. His trouble had crossed walls. After lunch he met the principal in the hallway. "Oh, Mr. Dike," the principal said, adjusting his tie. "I've scheduled an open class next week. Parents may sit in. Show them strong teaching." Next week felt too close. "Yes, sir," he replied, though his heart said no. Final period, class 3B again. He entered prepared. On each desk lay a printed worksheet. "Today we review paragraph structure," he said. "Read the sample, then write one strong paragraph." To his surprise, they started quietly. Pens moved. Midway, Chika raised a hand. "Sir, may I use the restroom?" He allowed it. Chika left, laughter tucked in his pocket. Minutes later, a faint alarm sound echoed. Students snickered. "Fire drill." No. It was a phone ringtone set to a siren volume. It came from the corridor. Mr. Dike stepped out. Chika stood there recording him on video, siren playing from another device in his bag. "Delete that," Mr. Dike said, voice low. Chika grinned. "It's just fun, sir." Inside. "Now." Chika obeyed but kept the grin. Other students whispered, "Post it, post it." The rest of the lesson unraveled. Focus vanished. When the bell rang, papers were half done. He collected what he could. Most had empty lines. As students left, a girl lingered. "Ada, quiet, top of the class last year." She looked at him, worry in her eyes, but said nothing and followed the crowd. After school, the debate club list was posted. Only 3 names appeared, and none of them seemed interested. He would need to recruit more. Another load on his back. He walked to the car park carrying the half-done worksheets. The sky finally opened, rain hitting hard. He had no umbrella. He dashed to a small shed and waited. Drops drummed on the iron roof. In the dim light, he reread the worksheets. One paragraph caught him. "A teacher is like a candle, bright at first but melting fast. When the wax is gone, only smoke remains." No name on the sheet. He wondered who had written it. The line was too true. Rain eased. He hurried to his old car and drove home through puddle streets. At a red light, his phone buzzed, message from an unknown number, likely a parent. "We hear your class is chaos. My child deserves better." He placed the phone face down, heart beat loud. Home smelled of fried plantain. His wife, Amoka, greeted him with a quick kiss. "You look tired." "Long day," he said, hanging his wet jacket. During dinner, their son chatted about football drills, daughter about a math puzzle. Mr. Dike smiled and nodded, hiding the storm in his head. Night fell. After the children slept, he opened his laptop to plan the open class. He outlined clear goals, interactive parts, sample essays. He worked until midnight, eyes burning, yet the plan still felt thin against the weight of rumors. Before bed, he checked his phone again. Group chat still buzzed. A new clip showed him turning toward the thrown paper ball, asking, "Who threw that?" The caption read, "Man lost in his own class." He powered off the phone and placed it in a drawer. In the dark, he whispered, "One more day. Just survive one more day." Beside him, Amoka slept, unaware of how loud silence could be. Wednesday dawned humid and grey. On his way to school, Mr. Dike rehearsed calm answers for every complaint he might face. He packed early, climbed the stairs, and found an envelope on his desk. It carried the school letterhead. "Dear Mr. Dike, you are requested to attend a special parent-teacher meeting today at 3:30 p.m. regarding Class 3B performance and classroom conduct. Your presence is mandatory." No signature, just the school stamp like a seal of judgment. First period was debate club recruitment in Assembly Hall. Only 5 students showed up. He smiled anyway. "Debate teaches clear thinking," he told them. "We argue with respect." One boy, Sei, raised a hand. "Sir, do we get extra credit?" "If you stick with it, yes." Heads nodded. A start, however small, felt like breath. Break time, whispers followed him. In the corridor, a poster had appeared, cartoon tears rolling down a stick figure teacher. Caption, Cry day is every day. He peeled it off. Underneath, faint tape marks showed this was not the first. Second period, 3B again. He entered before the students, wrote 3 questions on the board, and stood by the door welcoming each one. "Good morning, Chika." Chika blinked, surprised, then muttered, "Morning, sir." Tiny cracks in a wall, he thought. Lesson, building topic sentences. For 20 minutes the class worked. He praised any genuine effort, no matter how small. Ada produced a clear, strong line. He read it aloud. Some students clapped. Momentum felt real until a phone vibrated loudly in the back. The owner, Bill, tried to hide it. "Bring it here," Mr. Dike said. Bill trudged forward. As he handed over the phone, a notification flashed, group chat title Dike memes. Laughter erupted. Mr. Dike pocketed the phone and moved on, but inside something folded. After class, Ada lingered again. "Sir, are you okay?" she asked. He forced a smile. "Thanks, I'm fine. Keep up your good work." She nodded yet looked unconvinced, then left. Lunch. He tried to eat jollof rice but appetite failed. Mrs. Okafor sat opposite. "Heard about the meeting," she said. He exhaled. "Any advice?" "Stick to facts. Show your lesson plans and the work you mark. Parents respect evidence." He thanked her. Her steady tone felt like a hand on his shoulder. 3:30 p.m. arrived fast. The meeting room held 4 parents, the vice principal, and Mr. Dike. Empty chairs suggested some parents preferred online gossip to face-to-face talk. The vice principal opened. "Concerns have been raised about behavior in 3B and falling grades. Mr. Dike, please respond." He laid out his register of lesson plans, samples of marked essays, and the reading list. "I teach the syllabus fully," he said, voice even. "Behavior issues limit learning time. I've requested support." A parent cut in. "My son says you shout and embarrass them." "I raise my voice when safety is at stake," he replied. Another parent, "Why are grades lower than last term?" He showed comparative charts, homework completion down 35%. "Many tasks are not submitted," he explained. "I chase them, but I can't force them at home." Murmurs filled the room. The vice principal asked, "What steps will you take to improve?" He answered, "Daily formative quizzes, stricter phone checks, and I invite parents to review notebooks weekly." The first parent folded her arms. "We'll be watching." Meeting adjourned. No one thanked him. As they filed out, he caught the vice principal's eye, searching for some sign of support. The vice principal only said, "Do your best." Evening light bled through the window blinds. He sat alone, drained. On the table lay Bill's confiscated phone. Policy required parents to pick it up, but he scrolled the screen looking for the meme group. He opened the chat. Images mocked his posture, his smile, freeze frames of near tears. Captions like, "Sub story." His thumb hovered over the power button. He considered deleting the group but stopped, evidence of bullying might help later. He locked the phone and placed it in an envelope. Outside, he found Ada waiting near the gate. "Sir, I want to join debate club," she said. He managed a real smile. "We meet Friday after school." She nodded. "Some of us don't like the way they mock you." "Thank you," he said, voice soft. "Your support matters." At home, his children did homework at the kitchen table. He helped his son with a history timeline, drawing arrows and dates, and for half an hour the storm faded. Later, Amoka asked, "How was the meeting?" He told her the basics. She squeezed his hand. "Kids can be cruel. But you're tougher." He wished he felt her certainty. Night, near midnight. He drafted quiz questions, printed them, and packed them neatly. As he closed his laptop, a new email pinged, subject, performance review meeting scheduled. It was set for the following Monday with the principal. A second battle already lined up. He turned off the screen, lay on the couch to avoid waking Amoka, and stared into dark air. A single thought looped, hold on until someone sees the whole picture. Before sleep claimed him, he remembered something his late mentor once said, teaching is planting trees under whose shade you may never sit. He whispered that line like a prayer. In his mind, he pictured small green shoots pushing through hard soil. He closed his eyes and let that image stay. Thursday opened with thick heat and restless clouds. Mr. Dike arrived early again, pinned the fresh 10-question quiz sheets to each desk in Class 3B, and waited. The room smelled of chalk and hope mixed with doubt. The students filed in, surprised to see papers already waiting. No talking, he said gently. 10 minutes, then we review together. Groans came, but they settled. Pens scratched, pages turned. For once, silence served learning. When time was up, he collected the quizzes. Correct answers went on the board. As he reviewed common mistakes, he noticed several heads actually nodding. A small victory. Yet the calm cracked when Chika whispered a joke that rippled through the back row. The boys snorted loud laughter. Mr. Dike paused, eyes meeting Chika's. Share the joke or keep it for break, he said. Chika looked down. Sorry, sir. The rest of the period ran smoother than many before. He ended with, thank you for working hard today. A few students even replied, thank you, sir. During break, Beo's mother arrived to reclaim the confiscated phone. In the vice principal's office, she glared at Mr. Dike. You had no right to open my son's phone, she said. He kept calm. I only secured it. School policy. She signed the release form with a sharp stroke and left without another word. The vice principal gave Mr. Dike a look that said trouble might return. Second period free again. He marked the morning quizzes. Scores ranged from 3 to 9 out of 10, better than he feared. He wrote brief notes beside each, great start, check verb forms, proud of your effort. He believed feedback could be a bridge. At lunch he sat with the 5 debate club recruits. They brainstormed topics. Ada suggested, should school ban smartphones? Say laughed. Half the school would riot. Mr. Dike smiled. A good debate stirs strong feelings. Let's list pros and cons. For 30 minutes, ideas flew. He felt alive guiding them. Afternoon heat pressed heavy. In the corridor, 2 senior boys pasted another cartoon on the wall. This time the stick figure teacher was drowning in paper. Caption, help not coming. Mr. Dike walked up, peeled it down without a word, and met their eyes. They scattered. He slid the cartoon into his folder, evidence mounting like clouds before a storm. Last period, 2A again. A bright class, but even they sensed his fatigue. Halfway through, a girl asked softly, Sir, are you okay? He nodded. Just tired. They finished a lively lesson on descriptive adjectives. Moments like that reminded him why he stayed. 3:15 p.m. end of day bell. He returned to an empty 3B to place marked quizzes on desks. As he set the last paper down, he noticed new writing on the whiteboard in faint pencil, quit before we make you. He erased it quickly, but the words etched into his mind. The hallway was almost empty now. He ducked into a storage closet, shut the door, and let out a long breath that turned into a sob. He pressed a hand over his mouth, tears hot and fast. In the dim closet light, he felt alone yet again, but this time he allowed the tears, held them like rain that might cleanse. Footsteps passed. He wiped his face, waited, then stepped out. No one seemed to notice. He collected himself and headed for the gate, papers hugged to his chest like armor. Outside, thunder growled. He drove through streets slick with the first drops. At a red light, his phone buzzed, a message from Mrs. Okafor, heard about the board threat. Report it. You're not alone. He typed back, thank you. Will do. Support, however small, mattered. Home. Amoka greeted him with a hug that lasted longer than usual. I made pepper soup, she said. During dinner, he told her about the parent phone incident and the new threat. She listened, eyes shining with worry. You need allies, she said. What about the principal? He wants results, not stories. Then show results, she urged. Your quiz scores, use them. Night deepened. He compiled quiz data into a simple chart, baseline scores, plan for weekly improvement. He drafted an email to the principal, concise, factual, hopeful. After sending it, he felt lighter. Before bed, he prepared Friday's lesson, peer review of paragraphs. He printed rubrics, sharpened extra pencils, and packed sticky notes for feedback. Small tools, big dreams. As he turned off the lamp, he murmured to the dark, one day at a time. From outside, rain tapped gentle rhythms on the roof, like quiet applause for holding on. Friday began with clear skies that felt like a promise. Mr. Dike reached his classroom early and set up the peer review stations, colored sticky notes, sample comments on the board, and soft instrumental music ready on an old speaker to keep the room calm. When Class 3B arrived, curiosity edged out their usual restlessness. Today you will help each other, he said. Read your partner's paragraph and leave 2 sticky notes, 1 praise, 1 suggestion. He demonstrated on Ada's work, with her permission, praising her vivid verb choice, suggesting a clearer ending line. The class watched, some actually nodding. Pairs formed. At first, whispers of doubt, then the room settled into focus murmurs. Bright squares of paper began to bloom on desks. For 20 minutes, learning felt real. Mid-activity, the principal appeared at the door, hands behind his back. Mr. Dike's heart jumped. Carry on, the principal said, observing silently. Students noticed and straightened a little. After 5 minutes, the principal nodded once and left. Mr. Dike exhaled. A spark of hope flickered, maybe the quiz email had helped. Review finished, he asked volunteers to share. Chika surprised everyone by reading his partner's praise aloud. Your topic sentence is clear and strong. The class clapped. Chika grinned, caught off guard by the positive attention. Mr. Dike smiled, a wall had cracked further. Bell rang for break. As students filed out, Ada handed him a folded note. For debate club, she said. He opened it later, 3 debate topic ideas and a list of classmates interested in joining, now 10 names total. Momentum. In the staff room, the principal called him over. I saw focus in your class, he said. Keep documenting progress. Monday's performance review should go well if you present clear data. Yes, sir, Mr. Dike replied, gratitude mixing with nerves. Lunch passed quickly. He used the time to draft charts, quiz averages climbing from 6.1 to 7.4 in just 2 days. Small, but proof. Afternoon, debate club's first real meeting in the assembly hall. 12 students showed, some from other classes. They drew lots for sides on the smartphone ban topic. Mr. Dike taught basic structure, opening, points, rebuttal, closing. Students practiced mini speeches. Laughter came, but the good kind, energized, respectful. For an hour he felt the pure joy of guiding minds. As the hall emptied, Sei said, "Sir, you should record our debate and show the principal." Great idea, Mr. Dike said. He planned to borrow the media club's camera. He returned to 3B to lock up. On the whiteboard, someone had drawn a candle, half melted but still burning. No mocking words, just the picture. He stared, uncertain if it was insult or quiet salute. He left it there. Walking to the gate, he passed the locker area. 2 senior boys, the poster culprits, were taping up another cartoon. This one showed a teacher holding a giant eraser, wiping out rude words. Caption: Sir fights back. Mr. Dike stepped up. Gentlemen, take it down. They hesitated. You heard me, he said, voice firm but calm. One shrugged and peeled it off. The other muttered, yes, sir. They walked away. He watched them go, surprised at his own steady pulse. Evening traffic roared. At home, his children greeted him with shouts of "Daddy." He joined their excitement about weekend plans, library visits, then football in the park. After dinner, Amoka sat with him while he organized Monday's presentation, charts printed, samples labeled, parent communication log ready. You're turning the tide, she said. Maybe, he answered, cautious. She placed a hand over his. I see it. Late night. He opened the folder of evidence, the cruel cartoons, the board threat photo, screenshots from the meme chat Beo had since deleted but he'd already saved. He wondered if he should present this Monday. Would it seem like blaming students instead of leading them? He decided, bring them but share only if needed. The main story must be progress, not pity. Before bed he checked messages. One from an unknown number read, Sir, thank you for not giving up on us. No name, no clue. He saved it anyway, a tiny light. He stepped outside for a breath of night air. Stars blinked faintly through city haze. He whispered, 1 week survived. He thought of his mentor's trees again. Perhaps roots were forming beneath the soil of these hard days. Tomorrow was Saturday, no classes, but he planned to mark peer review paragraphs and fine-tune the debate outline. Work never truly paused, yet he felt lighter. Back inside, children already asleep, Amoka reading on the sofa. He sat beside her. She leaned her head on his shoulder. Silence wrapped them, not heavy this time, but gentle. He closed his eyes, listening to the small sounds of a house at peace, clock ticking, distant car horn, pages turning. Tears formed, but they were quiet tears of release, not despair. He let them fall, and Amoka squeezed his hand, saying nothing because nothing needed saying. Saturday morning, sunlight spilled across the dining table as Mr. Dike spread out the peer review paragraphs. He graded while his children colored pictures nearby. Every strong sentence felt like a quiet drumbeat. Progress, progress. By noon he walked to the public library with the family. While the kids browsed comics, he photocopied 3 standout paragraphs, Chicas, Adas, and a shy boy named Musas, to showcase on Monday. He labeled each student growth sample. After lunch, he stopped by school to borrow the media club's camera for the upcoming debate recording. The guard unlocked the media room. Rows of equipment gleamed. He signed out a small camcorder and a tripod, promising return by Tuesday. Back home, he tested the camera in the living room. His daughter acted as speaker, arguing why bedtime should be later. The footage was clear. Mr. Dike smiled, the tool would serve. Sunday morning, he finalized slides for Monday's review. Slide 1, quiz score trend. Slide 2, peer review impact. Slide 3, debate club engagement. Slide 4, next week action plan. He topped the evidence folder at the end. That evening he received a message from Mrs. Okafor, heard some parents praising Friday's peer review. Good sign. He replied, thank you for the heads up. Encouragement sprinkled like rain on dry soil. Monday, the big day. He arrived before sunrise, set the camera in 3 before later, and printed updated charts. The performance review was at 11 a.m. First period, he gave 3B a 5-question warm-up quiz. Average score, 8.1. Improvement holding. He photographed the graded papers as fresh proof. At 10:50 he walked to the principal's office. Inside sat the principal and vice principal. "Proceed," the principal said. Mr. Dike presented each slide, voice steady. He showed the upward trend, read excerpts from student feedback, and played a 30-second clip he'd recorded that morning of students discussing topic sentences. Silence followed. The principal finally nodded. "I see clear effort and results. Continue this path. We'll review again in a month." Relief flooded Mr. Dike. The vice principal even offered a small smile. As he left, the vice principal called after him, "Good work." 2 words, but they felt like wings. Lunch, he ate jollof rice with real appetite. Mrs. Okafor tapped his tray with her fork. "Told you facts win." He chuckled. "Couldn't have done it without your advice." Afternoon, debate club practice. He set the camera rolling. Teams argued passionately about smartphone bans. Chika, on the pro-ban side, delivered a sharp rebuttal that drew cheers. The camcorder captured every second. After practice, he replayed the footage with the students. They critiqued their gestures and clarity. Say laughed, "My hands wave like I'm fighting mosquitoes." The team bonded in shared self-improvement. As students left, Ada stayed behind to help pack equipment. She said, "Sir, people still post memes, but more classmates say they are unfair now." "That's good to hear," he said. "Change takes time." Evening staff meeting covered routine matters until the principal announced, Mr. Dike will showcase debate club's first recording at next week's assembly as an example of student initiative. A ripple of approval spread. Some teachers nodded at Mr. Dike, a few even clapped lightly. Walking to his car in twilight, he felt tall. Yet at the gate, the 2 senior boys appeared again, shoulders tense. "Sir," one said, eyes down. "We made those cartoons." "Sorry." The other handed him a folded sheet, another drawing, but this one showed a teacher watering small plants under sun. Caption, "Growth." Mr. Dike accepted it quietly. "Thank you. Let's all focus on growing." They nodded and walked off. At home, he taped the new drawing above his desk. Evidence folder went back in the drawer, thicker with stories of both hurt and healing. Before bed, he reviewed the debate footage once more, selecting clips for assembly. Chika's honest speech, Ede's calm closing, Musa's surprising humor, proved that the class held more than troublemakers, it held voices becoming strong. He shut the laptop, whispered to the quiet room, "The camera doesn't lie." It had captured struggle turning toward hope, and he believed the lens would keep recording better days. Tuesday started bright, but tension waited in the shadows. Mid-morning the exam officer hurried into the staff room clutching an empty answer booklet sack. "Mr. Dike," she said, breathless, "the English midterm scripts for Class 3B are gone. You submitted them Friday, yes." His throat went dry. "I placed them on the storage shelf, sealed. They're not there now. Principal wants you." In the principal's office, worry thickened the air. "These scripts carry 30% of term grade," the principal said. "Find them by tomorrow or we redo the exam. Parents will blame you." Mr. Dike nodded, mind racing, lost, misplaced, or stolen. He retraced steps, storage room, shelves, even trash bins. Nothing. Mrs. Okafor joined the search. "Could be a prank," she said. "Or sabotage," he whispered. During break, rumors spread faster than wildfire, "Dike lost our papers." In the corridor Chika asked, almost kindly, "Sir, is it true?" "I'm working on it," he answered. He met 3B and explained the problem, careful not to accuse. "If anyone knows where the scripts are, speak to me in private." No punishment. Faces showed surprise, some guilt, some mischief, but no one spoke. After school, he searched again. In a dusty corner behind old desks lay a torn paper strip with his red marking pen strokes. Proof the script had been opened somewhere. Heart pounding, he pocketed it. Evening, he reviewed debate club footage frame by frame. Near the end, while packing, a figure lurked at the storage room door, blurred but wearing the yellow hoodie Bill favored. He froze the frame, zoomed. Not clear enough to accuse, yet a lead. He called Amoka, explained. Confront him carefully, she advised. Assume curiosity, not crime. Wednesday morning, he asked Bill to help carry books. In an empty corridor he showed the zoomed image. Looks like your hoodie, he said softly. Bill's eyes widened. He stammered, I was just looking for my phone charger. I didn't take anything. Did you see exam scripts? Bill swallowed. They were on the floor. I thought someone dropped trash. I pushed the bundle under the old stage so I could keep searching. Mr. Dike kept voice calm. Show me. They slipped into the disused assembly stage. Dust motes danced in morning light. Behind a loose plywood panel lay the missing brown envelope, torn but intact. Relief shook Mr. Dike's knees. He checked, every script present. Thank you for telling me, he said. We'll say you found them. Bill's shoulders sagged with gratitude. I'm sorry, sir. He handed the envelope to the exam officer before first bell. She sighed in relief and reported to the principal. Rumor will spawn again, but this time it carried good news, scripts found. Some students even cheered. At lunch, the principal stopped by Mr. Dike's table. Crisis averted. Good recovery. Mrs. Okafor winked. You keep proving them wrong. Debate club met after school to refine speeches for Friday's assembly. Mr. Dike praised Bill's contributions, careful to rebuild trust. The team didn't know the full story, but they sensed unity and pushed harder. That night, Mr. Dike updated his progress log, adding the lost and found episode and noting Bill's honesty. In the evidence folder, he filed the torn paper strip, reminder of how close chaos came. Before bed he read an essay draft from Chika. The once careless boy now wrote, a leader stays calm when storms rise. My teacher showed me that. Tears formed, quiet, but this time they tasted of pride, not pain. Thursday felt like the hush before applause. Assembly rehearsal was set for the afternoon, and debate club buzzed with nervous energy. Mr. Dike spent morning periods polishing classes, but his mind hovered over Friday's showcase. First break, he found Ada, Chika, Beo, Musa, and Say outside under the mango tree, scripts in hand. Remember, he told them, speak to convince, not to crush. Let the audience feel your points. They practiced opening lines, birds chirped like a metronome. Second period free, he visited the media room to test the hall projector. The debate video clip played smoothly, clear voices, engaged faces. Satisfied, he loaded the file onto 2 backup flash drives, no more missing materials on his watch. After lunch, full school assembly rehearsal. The hall filled with restless students. The principal welcomed everyone, then ceded the floor to debate club. Lights dimmed, projector glowing. Mr. Dike hit play. 30 seconds of spirited debate rolled, murmurs of interest spread through the crowd. Then Chika and Ada stepped to the podium for a live preview. Chika argued for the smartphone ban, citing distraction stats. Ada countered with responsible use strategies. Their confidence drew real applause. Mr. Dike's heart soared. Back in class 3B, even non-club students buzzed about the performance. One boy said, "Sir, can I join debate next term?" "Of course," Mr. Dike replied. Seats sprouting. End of day staff briefing, the principal announced tomorrow's program order. He added, "We commend Debate Club and Mr. Dike for initiative." A few teachers clapped, none scoffed. Leaving school, Mr. Dike passed the locker area. The candle drawing on 3B's board had gained fresh lines. Someone extended the wick, flame burning brighter. He left it untouched, smiling. Evening at home, he ironed his cleanest shirt. Amoka adjusted his collar. Tomorrow will be great, she said. The children practiced cheering. Go Daddy's Club echoed through the flat until bedtime laughter settled. Late night, he skimmed final debate notes. A message pinged, unknown number again. We see your effort. Thank you. Anonymous kindness, but he felt its weight. He slept with calm he hadn't known for weeks. Friday dawned bright. At school gate, students greeted him with, "Good luck, sir." The rumor tide had turned. First period passed in routine review. Second period, he gave 3B a short reflective prompt, write one thing you've improved at this term. Silence fell, not the old hostile silence, but thoughtful. He collected paragraphs to read later. 10:30 am assembly time. Hall packed, teachers lining walls. Debate club stood side stage, uniforms crisp, nerves visible. Mr. Dike knelt, whispered, "Remember, you earned this stage." Heads nodded. Principal's intro ended, lights dimmed. Video clip played, audience hooked. Clip faded, spotlight on the podium. Chika opened strong, Eda rebutted with composure, Musa injected humor that sparked laughter, Say's closing tied ideas into a neat bow. Applause thundered, louder than any smartphone speakers ever blasted. Principal returned to mic. "What we saw is growth," he said. "Let's thank Mr. Dike." The hall clapped, some students whistled. Mr. Dike bowed his head, tears pricking, not alone tears, but shared celebration. After assembly, students crowded the team, asking questions. Even previous mockers offered high fives. The meme chat lay quiet that afternoon, replaced by new group names like Debate Kings. Staff room, Mrs. Okafor handed him a cup of tea. "Enjoy the spotlight," she said. He chuckled. "I'll settle for peace." He spent last period marking the reflective paragraphs. Lines leapt off pages. "I learned to start a story, not just end one. I talk less in class but say more on stage. I thought Sir hated us. Now I think he cares." He blinked back warm tears. School bell rang. At his desk lay a final envelope, parent newsletter draft. The vice principal had added a note, "Feature your debate club photo here." His work now school pride. He packed his bag. In the doorway, the two senior boys, the former cartoon artist, waited. One held a small card. "Thank you for giving us another chance," it read inside, signed with their names. He shook their hands firmly. "Keep drawing, maybe school posters next." Walking to the gate, sun low, he felt lighter than paper. Outside, Amoka and the kids waited to surprise him with ice cream cones. Sweet victory never tasted better. Night settled. At his desk, he pinned the new thank you card beside the growth drawing. The evidence folder, once a weight of pain, now felt like a testament to resilience. He whispered, "Trees grow." The candle on the board glowed in his memory, flame steady, wax still present. Monday morning arrived calm but heavy. Mr. Dike stood at the school gate, watching students stream in, their voices a hum of life. The week ahead promised tests, projects, and ordinary chaos. Yet in his chest, a quiet certainty grew. Last Friday's assembly was more than applause, it was a turning point. Students saw him not just as the strict teacher who gave homework but as someone who believed in them. The small thank you card from the senior boys hung on his wall, a reminder that even broken things could be mended. In the staff room, the principal called him over. "Good work, Dike," he said, shaking his hand. "We'll discuss a small reward at next month's meeting. You deserve it." Mr. Dike nodded, not used to praise but grateful. His day was full of lessons, marking, and meetings. But in every class, he noticed something new, a student raising a hand, a quiet smile, a glance that said, "I'm trying." It wasn't magic, just small changes made by effort and patience. During lunch, the debate club gathered. They spoke about future plans, ideas for the next school term, even ways to help younger students speak up. Bayo, now quieter but more focused, shared a story about how he almost lost hope but found strength in honesty. Mr. Dike listened, heart swelling with pride. These kids were not perfect, but they were growing. Like a garden tended carefully, their roots took hold in soil once hard and dry. After school, Amoka waited with the children. Her eyes bright with encouragement, she hugged him tight. "You did well, my love. The students needed you." He smiled, the weight in his chest lightening. That night, Mr. Dike sat at his desk, looking over the reflective essays from his students. Each word spoke of change, not just in grades but in spirit. He thought about the months of struggle, the lonely tears, the doubts. Now, the tears were different, quiet triumphs behind tired eyes. He wrote a note to himself, "Keep going. It's never easy, but it's always worth it." Folding the paper, he placed it beside the thank you card. Weeks passed. The school year moved on. The rumors stopped. The students who once mocked now greeted him warmly. The classroom was a place of learning and laughter, not fear. One afternoon, the principal announced a staff meeting. "We want to start a mentorship program," he said. "Teachers who have grown can help others. Dike, would you lead?" Surprised but honored, Mr. Dike agreed. The circle widened. In the days that followed, he met with younger teachers, sharing lessons learned not from books but from the hard ground of experience. He spoke simply, honestly, about patience, trust, and the power of small steps. At home, Amoka supported his new role. Together, they dreamed of a future where no teacher felt alone in the struggle. The children joined too, painting bright pictures of schools filled with kindness and hope. One rainy evening, Mr. Dike sat by the window, watching drops race down the glass. He thought back to the first day, to the empty classrooms, to the tears shed in silence. Now, he felt something new, peace. He whispered to himself, the teacher who cried alone no more. Tomorrow would bring its challenges, as every day does. But he was ready. Not because the road was smooth, but because he had learned to stand firm, to ask for help, and to believe in change. His phone buzzed, a message from Chika, "Thank you for believing in me." Mr. Dike smiled, knowing that sometimes, the smallest words carry the greatest weight.